You're watching IMSC TV. Your future success starts right here.
Hey there, this is Sean Donahoe and welcome to IMSC TV. Now we've got a lot of cool stuff going on today, but before we dive into the really cool stuff, we did have another large competition going on last week, and if you were part of that, thank you so much. We had a great time with that, and the winners are posted below. Each one of those winners gets a copy of Jimmy Kim's Easy Profit Bot. Very cool little tool, and well, congratulations. Nice job on the competition. Now, today we're going to tackle something that, you know, it's one of those misnomers, and there's a lot of myths and mysteries and misnomers, I guess, the 3 M's. And this really deals with what it takes to be on the first page of Google for the natural search engine rankings. In other words, not the pay-per-click ads, not the press releases, which we talked about a couple of episodes ago, but in the normal rankings. Now, everyone wants to be on top of Google. And if you look on this diagram to my right, you can see that, you know, only a certain number of, you know, a higher percentage of those links goes to the top 3 spots. Well, if you're not in those top 3 spots, it's hard to get any share of the traffic for a keyword. So what we're going to tackle today is, what does it take to actually get on top of the search engines naturally? So we're going to cover 7 different areas that you need to focus on if you want your site to be on top. Okay, tip number 1 is target the right terms. Now here's the thing. If you have a really amazing website, but it's targeting the wrong terms, you're not going to get, first of all, the right visitors and the right traffic to convert, but also you could disappear into obscurity. So make sure you're targeting the right terms. Terms where you can, first of all, crush the competition, where you can actually get the right visitors for your market, and that people are actually searching for your actual keywords that you're targeting. Go into Google's own keyword tool. They will actually show you the search volume for keywords. And remember, if you're on the top spot, the number 1 spot, you get about 37% of the exact traffic shown for that term. Now, you might rank subsequently and get traffic from other terms and other related items, but remember, you should go after a number of terms. Don't just target one item. Target maybe 10 different keywords. That way you've got your fingers in a lot of different pies, and if you optimize your pages for those terms, you know, you can't always optimize. Here's the thing. I see a lot of people make one fundamental mistake, is they try and optimize their homepage for many keywords. Doesn't work. Don't do that. Optimize your homepage for your primary keyword, and then have 10 or however many you need, maybe 20 other pages targeted towards those keywords. One keyword, one page, and that will help you a lot. So target the right terms and get more terms so that you can get your fingers into as many search pies as possible. Okay, the next tip is actually geared towards your primary keyword. Now, whatever that may be, say for example, I'm in the acne market and I'm targeting acne treatment. Well, the domain I want to get is acnetreatment.com. I might not be able to get that. However, if I could, that would be called a dead-on domain. And there's 3 domains you can go for that really actually have impact. And if you look on that diagram next to me, .com, .org, and .net. Now, Google treats .orgs more importantly than .nets. And as you can see from that diagram there, both Bing and Google treat it the same way. Remember, Bing also feeds search results to Yahoo. So in that, we're covering all 3 of the major search engines. So a dead-on domain is perfect if you can. Now, if you already have a domain with traction and ranking and everything else, no problem. You can actually take your domain, rebrand your domain if you want to, and then do what's called a 301 redirect from your old domain to your new domain, pass all of that link juice and authority across, but then have the authority of a dead-on domain. Now here's a little trick, little insider's tip. If you cannot get, say for example, acnetreatment.com, you can also put a little letter on the end, acnetreatmentx.com or something like that, because Google will ignore that X because it's inconsequential, but they will look at acne treatment and still give you a lot of credit for having a high density keyword in your domain name. So there's a little trick for you as well, and that works incredibly well even in the most competitive markets. Now here's another thing that Google absolutely loves: unique content. Now we've probably all heard about the Google Panda and the big slap that happened to a lot of search engines, and you should see that as a good thing, because what that did is it cleaned up a lot of the rubbish results that were your competition. Now if you have unique content for each one of your keywords, Google's going to see that as much more authoritative and give you the credit for that. So don't grab all sorts of duplicate content and post it to create authoritative content. You know, earlier on we talked about doing 10 pages that were geared towards keywords. Those should always be 100% unique content. Get it professionally written if you need to. I hate writing. I never write my own articles anymore. I get other people to do that. I have staff of writers that do excellent work, and they follow my specific guidelines for content, and that is awesome, but it's always unique, and Google loves that. So when you're going after a specific keyword and you want to rank highly for that page, unique content is the way to go. Now, tip number 4 is really important, and most people ignore this, but having internal backlinks or internal links, interlinking pages, posts, and everything else is very, very important. Now you can do this with widgets, you can do this with all sorts of plugins out there, but you need to make sure that you have good solid navigation, that your most important pages are linked and navigatable easily on every page. Now this helps your users who wants to find the most relevant information for what they're doing, but in terms of what Google sees, they see these as internal links to each other. I'll give you a prime example. Wikipedia. You'll see that ranking pretty much everywhere like crazy. Why is that? It's not so much that people are linking to these individual pages, it's because of the internal link structure is so powerful and so in depth that all that affects its internal ranking, and it really shoots it up the search engines for relevancy and authority. So think about that in terms of what you do right now with your own site. Are you addressing internal linking? For example, breadcrumbs. One plugin I use is called the Flexi Pages widget on a lot of my WordPress sites, because I can show my primary pages on the sidebar. Again, every page then has an internal link back to that. Another great one, related posts to the current article. If you're using WordPress, Yarp is another one. Yet another related post plugin, one of the best ones out there. So you can look at that, take that into consideration, and again, give yourself the edge when it comes to your ranking. Now this next tip is the one that probably everyone expects and knows is important when it comes to Google and its rankings, and that is high quality external backlinks. Now, we tackled this in depth last week where we showed you some great techniques for getting external backlinks, but the more diverse your backlinking strategy is, the better. Also, consistency is one of the most important keys, because if you're continuously building high quality backlinks, Google's going to see that as more natural than doing it in one big burst and then nothing. For example, people have some great automated tools out there and they'll do one overkill blast of thousands of links and then nothing. Well, how does that look in terms of Google's eyes if they've got their eyes on you? They're going to see a massive spike and then nothing. They know that's artificial, you will not get credit. So it's far better to do a little bit often than a giant amount and then nothing. So consistency, quality, in other words high page rank, And mix up, do follow, no follow, authoritative links like edu links. We showed you that last week. If you haven't seen that, go look at the previous episode. And there's all sorts of cool stuff about that out there. There's lots of third-party services that will help you with your backlinking strategies. There's lots of ways you could do it yourself if you want to. But remember, consistency, quality, and just keep at it. Okay, this one kind of relates to what we talked about with internal backlinks, but your internal SEO goes far, far, far beyond that. You see, a lot of people ignore the internal SEO thinking that the external backlinks are going to carry them up the search engines. Well, that's true to a certain extent, but you know, you can't flog a dead horse. Your external links will keep pushing your main site, but if your main site is not optimized, then you're wasting your time. So make sure you've got what I call the hierarchy of SEO set up internally. That starts off with your URL, your page title, your H1 titles, your actual content itself. Do you have images backlinked? There's all sorts of things that have relevance to make sure that your internal SEO is really optimized. Make sure you have your keywords in your page title. Make sure you have them in an H1 tag, an H2 tag. Make sure you have a keyword density of about 3%. Now, some people say keyword density doesn't matter so much anymore. I beg to differ. We've shown this time and time again in many different experiments that keyword density still applies today. And the keyword density of about 3% or one keyword every 150 to 200 words still works very well indeed. And make sure you've got an image on there with an alt tag that has your keyword in it, or the title tag has the keyword in it. Make sure you've got all of those things factored in there. Make sure you've got your keyword early in the first sentence and the last sentence. Look at tools like EasyWP SEO. Great little tool that will tell you exactly how to optimize your internal SEO on your page before you even publish it if you're using WordPress. It's a great little plugin, and it's a prime example of what I'm talking about, of optimizing your SEO. Now, another tip is quality. Now, we've talked about the quality of your unique content, the quality of your links, the quality of your SEO, but the quality and design of your site actually plays a major role in what your ranking is going to be, because Google wants the best of the best, and they're continuously evolving their strategies and algorithms to determine the quality of your site. So if your site is just a thrown together cheap template that looks terrible, it's got no style, it's got no class, and it just looks like a piece of crap, you're not going to rank very highly, or you're going to find it more difficult. If you actually take some time with your design, some nice graphics, some nice logos, some nice layouts, you're using modern web technologies like good CSS coding, tableless, HTML, you know, all that kind of really cool stuff. You're using some high quality templates. You've got a nice layout in terms of even your privacy policies, your terms of use. All of those elements are included in a ranking score of your quality. Now, they do this for pay-per-click, and you know, you have a page score. Well, you can guarantee they use that as part of the 187 different elements that Google uses to determine where you should be. And yes, that is part of their patents. They have 187 registered different factors that they apply to you. So we're covering the main ones here. We're not going to cover all 187, I'll guarantee that. But we're going to cover the main ones, the major ones that will get you to the top of the search engines. Now, here is the one that most people don't know about. You see, Google is continuously evolving, like I've said, and one of the major factors that is now coming into their determination of you and your website is your social footprint. Now, this includes how are people interacting on your site? Everything from commenting, Facebook likes, Facebook shares, Twitter links, retweets, where you're appearing on different social bookmarking sites, how your stuff is being syndicated. All of that creates a social footprint. And if you do this right, you can catapult your authority and your ranking because you have social authority, social ranking, and that footprint as it grows over time with your site really can be one of the most important factors in your future ranking. I guarantee with the release of Google's +1, and they're kind of stepping into the Facebook arena with their likes and some of the social stuff they're implementing, then I guarantee this is going to become more and more of a factor in the future. So make sure you take advantage of every aspect of social media and tie it into your sites, because it really will help you with your overall ranking. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's the 8 critical elements to Google success. And really, guys, if you can focus on as many of those as possible, I guarantee that you will see an increase in your rankings for multiple keywords. Like we said, target as many keywords as you can. Get your internal SEO up there, get your external SEO up there, get your quality up, get, if you can, a dead-on domain or as close to it as possible. Then tackle everything, make sure your internal SEO is optimized with your page titles, with your keywords in your H1 tags, your H2 tags, everything else. If you just encapsulate as much of this in your site design as possible, you will see increased traffic, increased rankings, increased sales and conversions. You really need to apply this because Google does have an 80%, if not more by now, market share, and that market share is increasing all the time. There is no real competition. Bing isn't much of a competitor. Yahoo is not much of a competitor. Even the new kid on the blocks, Yandex, which is making great strides in Russia, is trying to a little bit encroach on the US market. It's an incredible search engine, but it will not creep up and take over from Google. There's too much out there, so you've got to focus on Google. Now, this leads in, funnily enough, to, and if you've not been following what we've been doing, we actually have a product launch on October 10th. Now, this is a blatant plug, but it ties into everything we've been talking about today. You see, what we're doing with Commission Commando, which is the name of the product, is we're looking at attacking Google via the back door. Now, that last tip we talked about was about social footprints. Well, here's the thing. What we're looking at doing is something very, very cool indeed. You see, Facebook has a user base of over 750 million users, and half of those are online every single day. Twitter has over 300 million users, and again, Twitter users are much more likely to click on links than any other social network out there. Another thing, 56% of all shared content is actually shared on Facebook. Now, those numbers should make you pause for a moment, because that is a huge and untapped market. Now, I say untapped because honestly, a lot of marketers go about social marketing completely wrong. And I'll tell you right now, the new SEO is actually SMO, social media optimization. So you're really hearing this here for the first time. I'll tell you, this is going to become such a major factor in the future. And we're really tackling this in Commission Commando, because we're going to show you how to integrate a website so perfectly in with social media that you siphon off, get directly in front of the customers that need your services or products or recommendations, drive them to your site, convert them, and by using SMO, you are literally creating a massive social footprint where you have a highly optimized website to start with, shoots you up the search engines with Google as well. Now, again, one of the things I always talk about is scale and automation. And I'm really telling you what my product is. I'm telling you exactly what we're doing in this. And it really is incredible. I've spent months working on this. And we've got some great software. We've put all this together in a really kick-ass course. Anyway, I digress as I usually do. But what we're looking at here, guys, is integrating the best of social media with some incredible SEO techniques that you will never see anywhere else. And if you guys know me, I've always got all sorts of magic going on. And we're showing you how to integrate that, siphon all that traffic off to your website, and rank in Google as well, shoot up and then tap into all that traffic as well. It's basically integrating everything into one important self-contained sales funnel that will blow your mind. So that's kind of a little, a little sneak peek, I guess, a little inside information about what we've got going on. And it kind of ties into these tips that we've been talking about today. So guys, here's the thing. Now, in the last few weeks, we've been running competitions. That's cool. We're going to run a competition today as well. And I'm going to give away 10 copies, full copies, including all of the additional components. So basically the full platinum package of Commission Commando. And I'm going to give 10 copies away. And all you have to do is sign up below. That's it. You put your first name and email, and that's all you do. And what you get by doing this, you get two things. First, we're going to pick 10 winners at random who are going to get copies of Commission Commando when it launches on October 10th at 10 a.m. October 10th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Get the date right, Sean. So, with that being said, sign up below, and here's the cool thing. You get on the early bird notice list. And what this means is before the launch, 1 hour before the launch, I'm going to send out a special insiders email. It's only going to be the people who are on this special IMSE TV promotion. And by doing this, you're going to get a special 20% discount right up front. That's an early bird special. So if you want to get your hands on this, if it sounds like if you're watching this, it's going to be right up your alley, I guarantee it. But you have a chance to win, and you automatically get a 20% discount on launch day. So I can't say fairer than that. It's my special invitation and my way of saying thank you for watching IMSE TV. So again, put your name and email, click on submit, it'll take you over to a confirmation page, and you're all ready to rock. So there you go, guys. That is it for today's IMSE TV. I hope you enjoyed these tips. Apply those tips, please. The aim here with IMSE TV is success. I am Internet Marketing Success Center. I'm giving you tips that will help you succeed. Please apply them. See how they will apply. Even if you set up a test site, just to test them, to prove to yourself that these strategies work, do so. But put them into action, and I will see you in next week's IMSE TV. Take care.